Michigan State University has launched a new center to meet the critical need globally to support individuals with disabilities in life and career transitions. The center, which launched in June 2022, is housed within the MSU College of Education and the Department of Counseling, Educational Psychology, and Special Education. The center's co-directors and other personnel will work with individuals and also partner with researchers, service providers, employers, and policymakers to provide and efficiently disseminate evidence-based practices of support.
I'm Connie Sung. I'm an associate professor of rehabilitation counseling at Michigan State University. I'm also one of the co-directors of the MSU STRIDE Center.
And I'm Marissa Fisher. I am an associate professor of special education at MSU and the other co-director of the STRIDE Center. I have always been passionate about supporting adolescents and young adults with disabilities. It probably comes from my experience as a sibling of an individual with an intellectual disability. He's older than I am, so I saw his entire school to work transition and saw where the struggles were, saw what the successes were, and I thought, I was really interested in it, and I want to help other people as well.
I'm passionate about the work, mostly probably my mother, who has a medicine background. So I was trained in occupational therapy and also psychology. So I've worked with people range from really young age, toddler age, all the way to elderly. Through the whole lifespan, I found the transition age is the most exciting, but also most challenging for majority of the people. So I decided to focus on that. So for STRIDE, I want to start by introducing why it's called STRIDE. So I have to give credits to Marissa because she came up with the name. And each of the letters, of course, people know we as educators and researchers like to come up with acronym, but this acronym really means something by each of the letters. So S stands for the services. So we really see the needs of providing services for people with disabilities in the community. So we want to start with that S first. And as we are providing services, we see the need for providing training. So training for, as part of the land grant mission, we want to provide a service and training for our students, graduate students, and undergrad in different allied health professionals, especially in our rehab counseling, special education, and applied behavioral analysis. So the training that we are looking at, not only for grad students, but also for people who are now in service training, professional developments of different practitioners. So that's the T for training. And then for the R is, faculty at MSU, research is a big part of our role, and we want to make sure all the service and training that we provide research-based and is really the best practices for being used in the community. So that's the R comes from. And then the next is I. So we know that is very important for people who have an independent life, and there has a lot to do in order to help the person become independent. So our goal is to really fulfill that mission, is to help people achieve the independence. So that's the I comes from. And finally, the D and E is we really want to see people achieving desired employment, because employment is not just about a paycheck. They can have the social network, they can have their routine. And so we know employment also is a very important factor leading to positive mental health.
Connie described the mission really well. So putting it all together, STRIDE stands for Services, Training, and Research for Independence and Desired Employment. And we really do have that three-pronged approach of providing service, training, and research. So STRIDE is a dream come true for Connie and I. We have been working together for 9-10 years on various projects. And through those projects, we really saw the need for comprehensive services within the community. We spoke with several different community organizations and community members and saw where the needs were and what was missing. And we said, okay, how can we help fill those gaps? And we brought our heads together and said, we need a center that just focuses on all of this. And we took that idea to our dean at the time of the College of Education and to our department chair within counseling, educational psychology, and special education. And we said, this is our vision. And they said, okay, let's see how we can support that.
We want to emphasize this will not be possible without the support from MSU and also the College of Ed and Substitute Department. So we want to really thank them for their support and their trust in our work.
How does the STRIDE Center define disabilities?
That's a great question because people, they may have different understanding of disability. So for us, we really look at disability across the board. So including physical disabilities, including like mobility challenges, psychiatric, like mental illness. But our primary is really focusing on the intellectual and developmental disabilities because of our expertise and also previous experience running programs and projects. So how we define it is like a variety of different type of disabilities we will serve, and particularly we know many people with disabilities, they have co-occurring conditions, so they may have more than one disability. So we don't have a specific type of disability that we only serve.
Research will be a key component of the STRIDE Center's land grant mission.
As part of our role as a faculty member, our main goal is really to conduct research and translate those research into practices. We want to make sure those things that research-based and evidence-based, that we are using it and have a goal to achieve the outcome that we expect to achieve. So the work that we do or the service that we deliver or the training that we provide are all research-based. So the research that we do, eventually we want to fulfill the land grant mission of MSU is to work with the community, that we are not just being in a lab and doing what we think are the right things to do, but really getting the input from the stakeholders. So I would say all of our work, we use a participatory approach, is we are getting the feedback and input from our community stakeholders, what would work, what don't. So we are not just producing research for the purpose of archiving in the library database, but it's really being used in the real world by our community partners.
The research that we do, as Connie said, we're not just asking questions to ask questions. We're not collecting data just to write journal articles that then go into the library and are only read by other academics. But we are conducting research to really support those who need support. Everything that we do is community engaged. We are working with individuals, with service agencies, with other providers to not only find out what they need, but to find the best way to provide it, and then to also train others to also provide it. We're not saying this is our intervention and we're going to deliver it. We want to say, here's a great intervention. Who else can deliver it? Let us help you learn how to do it, and then you can provide it to others so that it's reaching the full community.
And as we are meeting with different community partners, we felt is so needed, and they are so excited about the STRIDE Center. And throughout our conversation, what we have also found is not only we are providing the services, training, and research, but the community are very open to come to us and tell us, like, what else needed to be developed, and we are here to help develop those and have a warm handoff to provide them these kind of resources and support so they don't have to reinvent the wheels. And we have the capacity, we have the expertise, so we are really aiming to collaborate with communities to find out what are the needs, how can we fulfill the gaps and meeting the needs of the disability community. One more thing that we want to really stress is we know sometimes people may get nervous, oh my gosh, we have a university faculty coming in and doing all this work, but our main mission is not trying to compete or to replace anyone in the community. We really want to collaborate with what is already in place and how could we work together to improve the resources and support for people with disabilities, because we believe we all share a common goal, is how we can better utilize what we have and develop more new things to meet the needs. So if our community partners, they see the need of like getting training, we're more than happy to do those trainings so that they can take the programming or the interventions back to their organization to provide those that will benefit even more people with disabilities.
Some of the first services offered by the STRIDE Center involve helping those with disabilities hone their soft skills.
Yeah, so Stride is just beginning, and we are currently starting to offer our services specifically to people with disabilities. So while our vision is to offer a comprehensive program of services, we are starting with the first step, which are some of the specific programs that we've developed at MSU. Connie has actually been the primary investigator on the program, Assistive Soft Skills and Employment Training, or the ASSET program, which is a critical first step for a lot of people with disabilities who are looking for a job. Often, it's not the work-related skills that are the problem or the difficulty in getting a job, but it's more of those soft skills, the social skills that they need some more training with. So we provide the ASSET program, which provides training on communication, on professionalism, on interacting with your coworkers and your boss, and how to call and interact with them. Say you're running late, how do you let them know that you're running late? So that's sort of the first programming that we'll be offering in a group setting where individuals can come and attend these lessons so that they can learn those skills. Once they complete the ASSET program, the second offering would be EPAS, which stands for Employment Preparation and Skills Support, which then takes all of those soft skills that they learned and puts them into the position to start applying for jobs and looking for jobs. So we work on interviewing skills, creating resumes, filling out job applications, and then we go through the onboarding process and workplace etiquette so that by the time they're finished with both ASSET and EPAS, they should be ready to go out and be an employee in a community-based setting.
Yeah, so in the meantime, we also we understand it's very important to get a job, but also it's very important to keep a job. So some of those programming we also offer to people who are currently at a job but maybe struggling with certain aspects. So we will be providing those training and support as well. And as Marissa said, this is only our first year, and down the road, we would like to really expand the service. We will welcome our community partners to let us know what else is needed. But several things came to mind maybe down the road that we will be developing, including like providing on-the-job support, helping with developing different kind of relationships with businesses and companies. So not just helping people with disabilities to get in the workforce, but also diversifying the workforce of the different businesses and companies. And with the staff shortage everywhere right now, so thinking about how to build that pipeline of talents also is very important with the employers.
Who is the STRIDE Center for? Who should contact you for assistance?
That's an excellent question. So a lot of times people may have a misperception that we only work with people with disabilities, but in our center, in order to promote and having people with disabilities integrated, truly be included in the community, we need to also work with other people around them, so including like employers when they are hired and trained and retained. We are also providing those kind of training to the employer side, and the providers who work with the individuals, we will train them, like Marissa was saying, is we are more than happy to share the intervention because we want more people to use them. So the goal is not just having these delivered to the individuals with disabilities, but really become a center of excellence in independence and employment and transition so that people can utilize the resources and support that we develop here.
How can people find out more about the MSU STRIDE Center?
So the best way, number one, is follow us on the social media. So we have a Facebook page. So if they look for STRIDE, they will find us, STRIDE. And second, we also have a website, is stridecenter.msu.edu. And finally, they can reach out to us. The email is stride@msu.edu.
I will say, the STRIDE Center, we're really excited because it is a physical location. We have a spot off campus within the community at 2875 Ide Parkway, which is in East Lansing. It's right by campus, but again, it's off campus so that it's more accessible to individuals, and there's ample parking at the center. But We also are in the community. So we are not always expecting people to come to us here at the center. We are expecting to be out in the community supporting individuals where they need the support, whether it's going to a transition program at a school who is looking to support all of their students with the asset program. We could do it in the schools, or whether it's an individual who's looking for navigation training and support on how to take the bus from home to work. We will meet them at home to teach them how to take the bus from home to work or anywhere else in the community. So while we do have a physical location, we are also hoping to be much more often out in the community.
So what we would like everybody to know is we are here. The main purpose of the center is to provide support and provide assistance to promote independence and employment and enhance quality of life of people with disabilities.
It's the MSU Center for Services, Training, and Research for Independence and Desired Employment, or STRIDE. I'm Russ White for MSU Today.